Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the man known as the Immortal LUFENIA run with Terra, Core, and Tifa. I did pull on Core and try to record the video, but somehow the video just got all messed up. So anyway, yeah, got Core, and I got him within I think my I used about, what was it? About 20,000 gems, so about 4 pulls, and I got it. So got lucky again, another pull, and Core. I went into this fight not really knowing what Core does, to be honest with you. I just had seen other players comment that he has a Yang and Noctis player follow-up move style of gameplay, but like a little bit more buffed. So think about using Noctis's burst if you've ever used his burst. After you use the burst and one of your players acts, Noctis will do a follow-up move similar to Yang's LD, and Core just has that in his kit. Like that is his kit, his follow-up move, which is what the orb requires you, or the orb requires you to do to be able to increase the orb count by 4 is trigger an additional attack from one of your players. And then here you'll just see, I mean, I don't even know what he does. There's just so much stuff here, and in a nutshell, all this is going to really do is do a group hit, give him Crown's Guard, and then you're going to select one of your characters that every time they are about to attack, Core is going to do an attack before that player does an attack. And Moonlight Dawn does the same thing. So you can see here I'm just like switching back and forth, which is why I sped up this video, because I'm sitting here just reading what Core does. So I put it on Terra, and that was a free skill use. That's how Core starts. And then when you use his LD, he's gonna get another free turn, but then his HP plus, or her HP attack does turn into here Reaper's Gale. And the only thing this really does is it gives them two things: an instant turn, and then you'll see all the purple come out there, the rainbow colors. I said purple, rainbow, and it just ensures that he's always hitting for max damage. So that's pretty neat. He does take multiple turns there. You'll see that. He's a really good character. After using him in this fight, I think he's going to be super useful for just so many fights. I think if you're a new player, you should be getting Core hands down. There's I feel no questions asked. And then obviously it's good to always pop in here Kurasame's LD, and then just go off with Terra. And so you'll see here I used Terra's LD, but then Core did an attack before Terra. That's because that's the player I selected when I was using his it was Snow Break or something like that. And so you'll see every time Terra's about to attack, Core goes first. So the amount of damage this man is gonna dish out is just dumb. It makes it super easy. With this fight was, I think, too easy for the sense of the players that I brought, or the characters that I brought. I mean, Terra is just hitting so hard, just even her with her meltdown, thanks to Kurasame, and then on top of that you have Core, you know, acting before she does. So I didn't do another run. I should have probably done another run with different characters here. I mean, these are, I think, one of the biggest damage dealers aside from Garland. But other than that, yeah, that's all it really is. It was super simple, and I think that Core made this much more simpler. If you see, every time he does the move before a character, he's doing 70 to 80,000 damage. So that's technically another, I don't know, 6, 8. So you're talking about like 400,000 damage, I believe, just in between what already Terra did. And so you can see here, I'm just spamming Terra. This is just a Terra spam again. And then right when Tifa gets her turn, I mean, you can already imagine, it's just so much damage with these characters. Now, the only thing here is that you'll see that Core stops attacking before Terra moves. And so I didn't understand why. I thought it's like a buff that he had, and then since he's not taking turns, then the buff shouldn't be going down. But when you select a character, what ends up happening is that the ally that you put the buff called Oath of Absolute Defense, the buff goes on them. So as Terra's taking turns, that buff goes down. And I believe it's for how many turns is it? I think it's like 5 turns or something like that. So 5-6 turns. So every time Terra attacks, that buff, Oath of Absolute Defense, goes down. And so instead of continuously spamming with Terra, it would have been good to just let Core move, reapply that Oath of Absolute Defense on Terra, so that way he's hitting before Terra attacks. Or Tifa, or whoever you're going to be using. So Tifa, I mean, if you're going to consistently be using Battle Cry, for example, then you want to throw Oath of Absolute Defense on Tifa. And you get that on both his S1 and his S2. So it doesn't matter which one you use, it's going to, right when you choose any of those two attacks, it's going to add, then you select which character you want to put Oath of Absolute Defense on, and then he just ends up going off. The only difference is that the S2 Snowbreak does give him the Crown's Guard Warrior buff, and that's going to give him more attack and more max brave. And other than that, that's pretty much all you really have to do. Is and one thing too to mention is that S1, although it also puts on Oath of Absolute Defense on a character, it's only a single target attack, where the S2 is a AoE attack. So that's kind of, I think, the biggest really difference between those two. His Lion's Roar EX gives him a buff called One of Lucius 3, and Lucius's 3, and it's for 8 turns. And what that does is that it gives him more attack, more brave, more HP damage, less HP damage taken by 80%. And then I guess his BRV cannot go to 0. So I think it helps him. It helps him not get broken, if I'm reading that correctly. And that's what you get from his EX. It's a normal recast, and it's at like an 80% charge at the beginning of the quest. But with the free skill, you're gonna end up using his EX in the beginning anyway. So you can see here, I mean, it's 14 turns and the enemies are almost already dead. It's another easy LUFENIA if you have obviously the right characters. If you're a new player, you don't have, let's say, you didn't pull Tifa or Terra. I mean, it's definitely doable. I'm hoping you at least got core, or you're pulling for core, because that's going to help you tremendously in this fight. Here, I only use Garland to delay, make sure that the enemy doesn't take a turn. And the fact that I think I exhausted all of Terra's LD. But yeah, core. I think he is the highlight of the show just in this fight because of how much damage he did off turn. It's crazy. He also has something called King's Power within when he uses that LD. And King's Power within is something you're gonna see like a sword floating over his head, and it gives him BRV and HP damage up, and then it also gives the party attack and max brave of like 40%. Gives them overflow, brave and HP damage plus 10%. And so the level increases every time that that core has an additional attack, and it'll go all the way up to 10. And I think when it's at 10, it also turns the HP attack into, I think, the Reaper's Gale, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, here's the run. I don't have any active spheres on core. Nobody has, again, perfect passives, but good luck. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for new content. Also, let me know in the comment section what you think about this mission and who you used to complete it. Check the links in the description for Opera Omnia websites that give you a bunch of helpful information, and I'll see you on the next one.